Welcome everyone to the next video of this important and interesting topic, linear equations in one variable. We are solving word problems, and as I have promised in the previous video that we will be dealing with the problems that are more complex, but don't worry, we'll try and make it as simple as possible. Do not forget to practice the previous problems, as we need to have a concrete foundation and practice for solving such problems. And also remember that this topic will help you a long way ahead, especially in the competitive exams that you appear. So moving ahead with the problems that we are going to do in this video. So our first problem for the day, which is 6th in the series, including the previous video. Three numbers are in the ratio 3:4:5. If the sum of the largest number and the smallest numbers exceeds the third number by 64, find the numbers. Always remember, read the question fully for the first time when you read it, so that none of the data or the part of the question is skipped. Now you are supposed to break the question into parts as per the information provided. When you see this, three numbers are in the ratio 3:4:5. So always remember, when numbers are given in ratio, there has a common factor or a multiple of it. So which helps us getting the number. So if common multiple is x, so the three numbers will be 3x, 4x and 5x. This is the benefit of using the unknown variable or a common multiple which we don't know, and we are using linear equation in one variable to solve. So 3x, 4x and 5x are the three numbers. Now we have converted the ratio into three separate numbers. If the sum of the largest and the smallest, obviously the largest will be this and the smallest will be this number. So given is, if the sum of the largest and the smallest numbers, sum of the largest and smallest numbers will be 3x plus 5x. So till here we have found the sum of the largest and the smallest numbers exceeds the third number by 64. The third number is 4x. So this exceeds the third number by 64 according to the given condition. The sum of the largest and the smallest numbers is 3x plus 5x exceeds the third number, that is equals to, third number is 4x, exceeds the third number by 64. That means the third number is this. So this, the sum of the smallest and the largest number exceeds the third number, that is third number plus additional number is 64. So this is the given condition. Now we are supposed to solve this and get the answer to it. So we have 8x is equals to 4x plus 64. This 4x, I get rid of it from the right hand side by subtracting it from both the sides. So it becomes 8x minus 4x equals 64. 4x equals 64. So x will be equal to 64 divided by 4, that is 1, remainder is 24, 6, and we have x is equal to 16. But as I'll always tell you, to read the full question, we are not supposed to find the value of x. We are supposed to find the three numbers. So what will be my three numbers as assumed in the beginning? So the three numbers are 3x, 4x and 5x, which is nothing but 3 into x is 3 into 16, that is 48. 4x is 4 into 16, that is 64, and 5x is 5 into 16, that is 80. So the three numbers are, the statement will be, the three numbers are 48, 64 and 80. Moving on to the next problem. Our next question is, the denominator of a rational number is greater than its numerator by 5. If the numerator is increased by 11 and the denominator is decreased by 14, the new number becomes 5. Find the original number. So we have two conditions over here. As always, initially the rational number is spoken of and the relation between its denominator and numerator is given. In the second condition, the numerator changes to some other number and denominator changes to some other number, and the whole rational number becomes 5. We are supposed to find the original rational number. So let us start solving the problem. Here the relation between a denominator and a numerator is given. The denominator of a rational number is greater than its numerator by 5. So denominator's relation to the numerator is given. So assume numerator to be x. So numerator of the rational number be x. So denominator of a rational number is greater than its numerator by 5. So denominator will be x plus 5. So the rational number, original rational number is numerator upon denominator, that is x upon x plus 5. You need to remember this, as we are supposed to find the original rational number. So what are the changes made? So new rational number is the new numerator upon the new denominator. What is the new numerator? When the old numerator is increased by 11, old numerator is x. So new numerator will be x plus 11. And what will be the denominator, new denominator? Old denominator is decreased by 14. Old denominator is x plus 5. So x plus 5 and decreased by 14, that is minus 14. Then this is my new rational number. Then the new number becomes 5. That means this is equal to 5. So we are expected to solve this linear equation in one variable. So let's proceed ahead. So x plus 11 upon x plus 5 minus 14 gives you x minus 9, and that is equal to 5. So as we have studied in the previous class, when I want to get rid of a denominator, I do something which is also called as cross multiplication. So this is nothing but 5 by 1. So 1 multiplied by over there, and this denominator multiplied by 5 over here. So my new equation becomes x plus 11 equals 5 into x minus 9. Now pause the video and solve to find the value of x, and let's check whether you get it correct or not. Okay, on solving this linear equation in one variable, we get the value of x as 14. You may cross check with this solution. As I said, we need to completely read the question till we don't jump onto the next one. We are supposed to find the original rational number. And what is the original rational number as our assumptions and formulation of the equation? So our original rational number is nothing but x upon x plus 5. And what is my x? X is 14, and x plus 5 will be 14 plus 5, that is 19. So this is my original rational number, the numerator of which is 14 and the denominator is 19. Let's move on to the next question. Natasha thinks of a number and subtracts 2 by 3 from it and multiplies the result by 9. The product now obtained is 7 times the number she thought of. What is the number? So what is the original number that she thought of? Now the problem looks a little complicated, but then it's pretty straightforward. So sticking to our regular routine, break the problem into parts. Natasha thinks of a number and subtracts 2 upon 3 from it. This is the first part. And multiplies the result. I'll mark it with a different color. And multiplies the result by 9. So let's frame this condition first. So let the number she thinks be x. Let the number be x. So she subtracts 2 by 3 from it. That means x minus 2 upon 3, and multiplies the result. So this is the result. Multiplies the result by 9. The product now obtained is, now next part is the product now obtained. That means this is equal to 7 times the number she thought of. That means this product is equal to 7 times the number she thought of. What number did we assume? That is x. So this is my required condition. Okay. So the given condition is this. We are supposed to find the value of x, and that number, what is the number? The number we have assumed as x. So whatever the value of x is, that will be the answer to this problem. Let's simplify. You may simplify it along with me also, because we have solved a lot of problems till now. Multiply this 9 with both the terms of this bracket. So 9x minus 9 into 2 by 3. 9 into 2 by 3 is nothing but 3 ones are 3 and 3 nines are 3 threes are 9. So 2 into 3, that is 6, equals 7x. 7x on this side, on all the unknowns on one side, knowns on the other side. So 9x minus 7x is equal to minus 6, becomes plus 6. So what is the remainder? 2x is equal to 6, x is equal to 3. The required number is x, that is 3. So Natasha thought of that number as 3. We may have seen many puzzles or tricks similar to this kind of problem. Like think of a number, add something to it, multiply it, subtract it, you will get this as a number. So those tricks or those puzzles are nothing but the outcome of linear equations in one variable. You may make your own trick or mathematical puzzle based on that and ask your friends. Let's move to the next question. The sum of the present ages of a father and son is 53 years. 4 years ago, the father's age was 4 times the age of the son. Find their present ages. So in such kind of problems, remember two things, that we are solving equation in one variable, so we cannot have two different variables for father's and son's age. And it is obvious from the first condition that the sum of the present ages of father and son is 53 years. If I put one variable for father or son, it will be easier for me to get the age of the other person. For example, if I assume the age of the father be x, so son's age will be 53 minus x. If I assume the age of son be x, so father's age will be 53 minus x. So always remember, initial statement of a problem, whenever it is a sum of two numbers or the difference between two numbers or the product of two numbers, in that case assume one as variable and the other you find it by the relation given in that first statement. So in this case also we'll have to proceed in a systematic manner. We need to make a table. So this is the kind of the table. Don't go for the neatness of the table, please. What we want is a collection of data and representing it in a systematic manner. So assuming the father's present age as f, we have taken a lot of x's. Now we'll take f for father's age. Present age of father is f. So what will be the present age of son? It will be 53 minus f. Why? Because both of their additions give me 53. So one of the numbers is f, other will be 53 minus f. Now what will be father's age 4 years ago? 4 years ago from now, go back in time, flashback, how much? 4 years ago. So 4 years ago the father's age will be f minus 4 and the son's age will be 53 minus f minus 4. Agree to it? So do not subtract 4 only from father's age or only from son's age. Both of them are going back in time. How many years? 4 years. So both of their ages will be subtracted and 4 will be subtracted from their ages. So moving ahead with the problem. 4 years ago the father's age was 4 times the age of the son. So use this 4 years ago data and start solving as per the given condition according to the given condition. The father's age 4 years ago, the father's age, that is f minus 4 is equal to 4 times the age of the son when back in past. So 4 times the age of the son, 53 minus f minus 4. I can simplify this in the bracket itself orally, but then I wanted to show it in detail. Now let's solve further. F minus 4, we need to solve the bracket first, is equal to 53 minus 4 is 49. So 49 minus f. Therefore f minus 4 is equal to 196 minus 4f. Now we have simple terms on both the sides of the equal sign. So bring unknown on one side and known on the other side. This is negative, so if I bring it on the other side it will become positive. So f plus 4f is equal to 196. This minus 4 comes on the other side, becomes plus 196 plus 4. So 5f is equal to 200. Therefore f is equal to, divide by 5. 5 ones are 5, 40s are 200. So father's age, present age, what is F? Father's present age is 40 years. Son's present age will be 53 minus F from this systematic representation that we have done in the table. So 53 minus F, 53 minus 40, which is nothing but 13 years. I hope this is clear to you all. So always remember, in the problems where the sum of two numbers is given, assume one of the numbers as a variable and the other one equated for getting the first relation, and based on the second condition get the second relation, solve it, and eventually you will get the correct answer if you don't make any silly mistakes. The last question for this video. The length of a rectangle exceeds its breadth by 7 centimeters. If the length is decreased by 4 centimeter and the breadth is increased by 3 centimeter, the area of the new rectangle is the same as the area of the original rectangle. Find the length of the original rectangle. Now always remember, if there is too much of data, representing data is an important task, because based on that representation of the original information given in the problem, you will be solving the whole problem. Hence, we will again represent the data in a systematic manner, that is a tabular format, and will solve. Now, the length of the rectangle exceeds its breadth by 7 centimeter. So the relation of length with respect to its breadth is given. So I'll assume the breadth to be x, or you may say y, because too many x's now. Y, the length of rectangle exceeds its breadth by 7. So if breadth is y, my length will be exceeding it by 7. Exceeding it by 7 means y plus 7. If the length is decreased by 4 centimeters, that means if I decrease this by 4 centimeters, that means y plus 7 minus 4, and the breadth is increased by 3. So breadth is y, we are supposed to increase by 3, y plus 3. The area of the new rectangle, this area of the new rectangle is the same as the area of the original rectangle. That means they both are equal. So if we make the following changes, the area of both the original and the new rectangle remains same. So for that we need to know the formula for area of rectangle. If this is the length, this is the breadth, the area of the rectangle is length into breadth. So this is the length, this is the breadth. So area will be y plus 7 into y, that is length into breadth. Over here, let's simplify this. So this becomes my y plus 3, that is y plus 7 minus 4 is 3, so y plus 3. So breadth is length over here for area of new rectangle, the length is y plus 3. And breadth is also y plus 3. So the second condition is both the areas are same. So I'll write it over here. Area of original rectangle is equal to area of new rectangle. And we have already found out by the formula in this form, algebraic form. So write in the place of area of original rectangle as y plus 7 into y equals y plus 3 into y plus 3. Now open the brackets, multiply and simplify y into y square plus 7y. As I have told you all in the previous video, do not get scared of the second degree over here. This can be solved by two ways. this is nothing but y plus 3 the whole square. Y plus 3 into y plus 3 is nothing but y plus 3 the whole square. So you can use an identity to find, as we know, a plus b the whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So we can use that formula. But if you don't remember that, first term second bracket plus second term second bracket. This is the way to multiply the brackets. Let's move ahead. So we have y square plus 7y equals y square plus 3y plus 3y plus 3 3s are 9. See over here, as I told you not to take any tension, y square and y square gets cancelled from both the sides of the equal to sign, and we have is a linear equation in one variable. What we have is 7y equals 3y plus 3y is 6y plus 9. I want to get rid of this 6y from the right hand side, so I will subtract it from both the sides, and I have 7y minus 6y is equal to 9y is equal to 9, and with this we get the breadth of the original rectangle. What are we supposed to find? Find the length of the original rectangle. So length of the original rectangle is y plus 7. Substituting the value of y as 9, we get 9 plus 7, and that is nothing but 16 centimeters. With this we finish the fifth problem of this video, and in the next video we will see some more complex problems. Meanwhile, keep practicing, because practicing is the only solution to improvise and become an expert in anything. Also, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.